What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is time for a GTR update. Got the car on the jack stands. We're going to be doing a few things in this video. Alright, and here is the downpipe. This is actually a Nismo downpipe, but this one is actually an unequal length. And the one that I'm going to replace it with is an equal length made by HPI. So we're going to start hitting this thing with some PB blaster. There's 4 bolts that hold them on, 1, 2, 3, and see if you get that one down there, 4. These should actually come off nice and easy since I just had this all taken apart, I don't know, not even 6 months ago. Last bits are right here at the back part. There's that old logo Nismo stuff. I'm actually going to take the whole, I think I'm going to take the whole exhaust down. That way I can have easy access to get the drive shaft out of there. Got the exhaust off again, and I'm getting ready to drop the front pipe, which is sitting right here. I'm going to unbox it in just a minute. So now I got the downpipe out of the box. I'm going to unwrap it now. It's made by HPI. HPI is an aftermarket performance parts supplier out of Japan. It's not as well known as some of the other ones like let's say Greddy or HKS or Tomei, but they make really high quality parts, and this is an equal length pipe. This actually really changes the note of the exhaust, so I'm actually really curious about what that's going to make it sound like when I get it fitted up. So anyway, let's get it unboxed, and I'll get the old one off. I'll put them side by side and you can see what I mean. It's an all stainless piece. So this is the old Nismo downpipe that I just took out, and then the HPI equal length sitting right next to each other. This one has the extra bend in it to make sure that the pipe lengths are equal. So you can see the openings on the HPI pipe are quite a bit larger than the one on the Nismo. I actually have the HPI elbows that match, so when I get the turbo swapped in, the turbo elbows and the downpipe, everything is going to match diameter wise. So let me just take a quick measurement here. It's about 57, almost 58. But here, inner pipe diameter is, look at that, 67. So this is 10 millimeters wider. And on the exit, right here, you have 72. And this one is actually 76. I'm really excited about this one. I can't wait to get this mounted up and see what it sounds like. Be a little bit longer though, because I gotta actually take the brakes off, get the big brake kit swapped on, which I have sitting in here. These are 2-piece rotors from Z1 Motorsports, front left, front right. These are really nice, plus they also have the rear rotors as well, which are sitting just underneath of that. Getting ready to put those on. That'll be another video though. Underneath here we have to, there's 4 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, that actually hold the front drive shaft on, and then underneath here there is a nut here and then a bolt there. Those come off, and then that brings us down. And then on the rear, which is right here, there are 6 bolts that you have to undo here. But you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but that center bushing, see if that center bushing is kind of squished down. Yeah, that can't be good. So anyway, 30-year-old parts. Let's replace this too. I've gotten all the bolts loosened off of the rear of the drive shaft and off the front of the drive shaft. Now I'm actually starting to take the center support part out and hopefully can lower this whole thing down. I'm not quite sure how much it weighs. I'm expecting it to be probably like 30-ish pounds, so I should be, in theory, able to hold it up without smashing myself in the face. We'll see. Let's go. The front of it's basically already loose. I just have these bolts sitting in here so it doesn't fall down. Oh, it's not too heavy. All right. Okay. There we go. Yeah. That wasn't too bad. And it's out. Well, that is the bearing right here. Yeah, this thing is pretty worn out. It's all squished down. Anyway, when you take these things out, make sure you paint all the lines on them, so that way when you put them back on, you'll know exactly where it goes, because this thing has weights on it. You see these little weights, so that way when you put it back on, it doesn't have a vibration or anything. Alright, so I just finished taking this bracket off now and separated it. But wanted to show you the bearing here. I'm gonna hold this up. You can see it's definitely perished. 30-year-old parts, time for a new one. I'm actually going to take this to my buddy's shop. If you look at the book, what it tells you to do is to basically separate this, and then you have to pull this yoke off, and then you have to put one of those, basically it's a bearing cap. I guess you put it around here, and then you can pull it straight out that way. But I don't have one of those, so I'm actually going to take it to my buddy's shop and have him pull this old one off, press the new one on, and then reassemble and put this all back together. And yeah, so that'll take about a week or so. So now I got the Cusco tension rod reinforcement out. It takes a 22mm right here to tighten and loosen. What I did was I actually cinched it down in order to pull both ends in as far as I could. Now I'm going to get up underneath it here so I can actually show you where it's going in. Alright, so here's a couple things. So this is how this bar goes in, like that. So you can see it's hitting this plastic cover, so I'm actually going to use a pair of tin snips and trim this out. Then I'm going to break that free. That's a 17mm, and then we'll install it. This thing looks pretty straightforward, so let's get to it. Alright, now we're going to take the other side off. We'll fit this bar up. So now you can see I've got this trimmed here for the bar. I've got this trimmed for both sides, like this, and like this. And then we're going to spin this guy so we can adjust it out. But basically, it's going to spin like that, so that way it expands. And we're going to put it right up into the position it needs to be. This is in place now. I got these nuts in on both ends. I just need to get them torqued down, and now you can actually spin these to tighten them and lock them down. Alright, so these are down. Now you just need to torque them down. The manual says between 65 and 80 foot-pounds. So I have my torque wrench set to 72. Oh. That is nice and tight. and as you can see, there's a little bit of space between here and the oil pan, which is good. I can get my pinky down in there, so that's good. So it ties this all together and makes it nice and strong. All right, it's actually been a few weeks since I've been out here, but I have gotten my drive shaft back now, and the center bearing has been replaced and is nice and not squished anymore, as you can see. But I realized, I think that this was actually squished because the transmission mount was old and was sagging. So if you look at this, this is the old trans mount, and it's definitely seen better days because it's original. So I went and ordered a new trans mount from Terra Firma, and this is just the regular original one, which is this part number. It is not the Nismo version. I also got a Super Pro transmission cross member bushing kit. And what I did was, so that's actually why the project kind of got put on hold for a little bit, is I wanted to replace these. I wanted to replace these at the same time. So I went and actually got these stripped and powder coated, and they turned out beautifully. There you go. And as you can see, it just turned out beautifully. Yeah, anyway, so we'll start getting everything reassembled, and hopefully I can get this thing down off of the, and then hopefully I'll be able to get this thing down off of these jack stands today. Well, we hit a bit of a snag. Now I know why I had a clunk in the drivetrain. Even though the center bearing needed to get done and the transmission mount was also old, my clunking noise was actually because somebody who owned this car before me over the last 30 years actually stripped the 2 bolts that hold the cross member for the transmission on the passenger side, and so it holds it in, but it won't actually bolt down, it won't actually torque down. So that sucks. So that basically completes the project for me today. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get everything bolted back together and try and get it as secure as possible, and gingerly drive it down to my buddy's shop. And I think I'm going to have him probably put in a time cert in order to fix those threads, so that way it's good. The good news is the driver's side is fine. The driver's side actually has no issue whatsoever. Everything bolts in and torques down properly. We have no problems with that. It's just the passenger side. Both bolts on the passenger side are not holding the torque it should. So I don't know what happened. I guess maybe some gorilla at some point rattle gunned these on, because what's important to know here is that the transmission cross member is only 30 foot-pounds to actually torque that in. So someone probably got on there with a rattle gun and freaking over torqued it on the passenger side first and went, oh snap, that's not good, and then probably just hand torqued in the driver's side, but they put in some contraption in order to kind of hold it in place without it coming completely loose. So that, anyway, I'm rambling. That freaking sucks. I guess I'll update you guys when I get it all fixed, but that's probably going to put the car down for another couple weeks, so that's a huge bummer. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, so here's the update. I was able to take the GTR to my friend's shop, and he was able to fix the threads that hold in the transmission cross member using a time cert, and it fixed the whole thing. So both of those are repaired now, and that's good. I was able to get everything reassembled and back together. I can drive the car again. Everything's nice. Yeah, so anyway, again, thanks for watching. Got a couple new videos that'll be coming after this. I filmed me installing the big brake kit, which is on now. I filmed a little bit about my new wheels, which I'll make a small video about that as well as I filmed me putting the new Superior Auto Creative seat covers that I got. So I'll be editing those videos here coming soon and getting them up so you can take a look. And yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll show you the wheels, brakes, and interior real quick. So there's the brakes and the wheels. And there's the rear. And then the interior, the new seat covers.